no. Uwe Le Beef. It's the man with the mask. Is that a mask? Are they two hamburgers or are they eyelashes? They look like hamburgers with fucking...
No, they're pretty eyes.
Oh, fucking that looks like a multi-seed bun, pal. Get out of here. Fucking burgers for eyes, pal. Give it, son. Episode...
What's the crack?
The crack is mighty. In here for another episode 23. So...
Oh, yeah, baby.
Other than the episode we're about to talk about there, what's the crack with the mask there?
The crack is this is part of my my weekly task, my weekly individual task about getting more sleep, you know. So it's very bright when I wake up. This is how bright the house is. The blinds are both down now, and at 5 o'clock in the morning it's like this. So I'm waking up just from being underneath that window there.
Yeah.
Getting up, and then because I'm awake, I can go up and go over a piss, and I go back to bed and trying to go back to sleep, but I'm not. So I just put on my pretty little princess mask.
There you go.
And drift lightly back off to the land of mild sleep.
If we lived in an alternate universe where Zorro was born as a transgender, that's probably what he'd look like. Do you know what I mean?
Zorette.
Zorette.
Zoe.
Zap.
Oh, God.
We'll get there eventually. Jesus.
Wait, what have we got in plan for today now, Cam?
We are talking about playing I just spat all over my laptop there, like a proper, not even a bit like a fucking full-blown, like one of those things in your eyes there.
Gollier.
That's it. We're talking about playing the long game. And the fact that you're not going to get the result you want in 1 to 2 weeks. You know what I mean? You're not going to get the result that you want in 1 to 2 weeks. And there's fucking a lot of chefs that I speak to are so conditioned into believing that you can make it happen in a short amount of time. The quick fixers, you know? And I know Peter was a quick fixer before he came into Chef Fit because he tried so much shit.
Many times I was a quick fixer.
Yeah.
It always worked.
Big time. It's like you need to be able to play the long game. You know, the long game is like committing to not giving up. That's the big thing. Committing to not giving up. Like I've thought about this a lot in what I do, you know, and fucking running Chef Fit, which is a business, you know what I mean? And how difficult it's been to start and get up and running and the challenges that I've faced and the challenges that I've faced in myself. It's been fucking probably the hardest thing I've ever done to get this thing off the ground, you know? And now that it's up and running, I realized I've had this thought process that it's like, fuck me. There was so many times that I could have given up there. There was so many times that I could have given up. But there's so many people I've seen who were, you know, coaches that I knew who gave the fuck up. They gave up because they couldn't handle the fucking challenge. They couldn't handle the adversity. They couldn't handle the pain. So, because they were expecting it to happen overnight. And I'm not here, and I know for myself, it's like, no, you just need to you just need to find a way. Just keep finding a way and just stay doing what you're doing and don't fucking give up and it will happen, you know? And stop thinking that it's going to be a couple of weeks or a couple of months. Like, you're going to have to fucking put years in here. But if you do and you're willing to fucking go all the way and you're willing to go all in, chances are you're going to fucking make it happen. So as a society, we're very much conditioned into believing that everything happens at the push of a button, because that's literally where we get a lot of our information. You know, again, you're getting this conversation and this information on the internet. You know, you're seeing a video of me and Peter. It's like you can scroll down on the screen and you can pull up a load of previous episodes of this podcast instantaneously. You can open up your WhatsApp and you can talk to several of your friends instantaneously. You can open up Instagram and you can fucking follow anyone you want instantaneously. You want to have a date with someone, you don't need to fucking call them anymore. You don't need to even meet them anymore. You just go on Tinder and swipe right. The other thing is true about also looking at, you know, movies and stuff. We've taken, society and technology has taken the effort out. We don't have to really work hard to get shit anymore. Even I was thinking,
people are expecting instant gratification now.
Even with fucking computer games, man. Do you know what I mean? Even with computer games, like I've even playing, I know both we even played, like I've been playing Red Dead Redemption recently, right? The new one. And it was like, well, the newish one. And It's like I was actually comparing that and thinking about fucking games, what games used to be like. You know, and I think about did you play The Witcher at all? Did you? The
Of
Witcher.
course.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like
Gerhardt.
it was hard, but the thing about you have this little compass in the corner, and it's like you're
Yeah. His name is Gerhardt. That's
yeah,
what I was saying.
Geralt. He's a fucking he was fucking hilarious, by the way, in that game. I don't know if anyone's fucking gamer here. I got a lot out of winds howling on the back of the horse, fucking roaming around.
I love the music in it. It would put the shits up you.
It's a serious game. But the thing about it is games are not as hard. They're not as hard as they used to be. The challenge isn't there anymore. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, you can just go into the map and you can select the destination, and it actually gives you the path to get there. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you used to have to be able to really like challenge yourself and figure things out. And you'd be ringing one of your mates and asking him for like a walkthrough guide that he fucking bought in a shop in town. You know what I mean?
For cheat codes.
Yeah, or ask him how to get past this part of the game. We're digressing here massively, but it's a good analogy that even computer games have gotten easier, where like we've actually taken the challenge out of them, where you might be stuck on a level in a game for fucking weeks on end. You know, Super Mario World on the SNES. Remember being stuck on this I remember the fucking level. You're on the back of that little green lizard lad, and you're trying to get through. Like you're doing the old sneaky. Remember getting stuck on a level. You'd be there for weeks, like weeks.
Remember getting stuck on Vega.
Yeah.
You know, in Street Fighter, you're trying to complete it on level 8. You get stuck on Vincent Vega for years.
Was he the moody lad who was like?
He was the one that had the Wolverine claw that climbs up and jumps down on you. Speaking of trans.
Yeah. That's where you actually bought that sleep mask from earlier.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to say here is things have gotten a lot easier. Things are a lot more instantaneous than they used to be. We're instantly gratified, and we believe that everything's at the touch of a button, and most things are. But the reality is, when you're looking to change your life, chef, which is what a lot of you try and do, where you're, committing to trying to diet, joining the gym, trying to supplement, doing Herbalife, going to Slimming World, fucking doing Weight Watchers. You come at it with this mentality of, I'll see what happens. I'll give it a fucking whirl. I'll try my best, And what does end up happening is you think it's going to be just like going on Tinder. You think it's going to be just looking on Netflix, where it's just you select what you want. Shit, this is the right thing for me. This sounds good. And then you try it for a little short amount of time. Boom. And you get that gratification of, hey, I achieved the result. But it doesn't work like that. Your life doesn't work. Anything good in your life is not going to come easy.
Do you know what, Cam? In the last 6 or 7 years, I had lost between say around average 8 kilos.
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And as soon as I almost hit that mark, it goes back on. This time, it's been 10 months, and there's the 8 kilos and another 6 kilos. And even now, pictures. Have you seen my pictures yesterday, or before and after this yesterday? Even from yesterday, from the week before, It's still going. It's still going consistent.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is, it wasn't because it was like, right, bang, instant gratification. All right, I've done it. I've lost that weight. That's it. It's done. Just do the same thing now. I mean, it's been just as hard holding on to it as it was getting there.
Yeah, big time.
But the reward, the gratification, it's not instant. But it's hard earned, but it's delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can enjoy it more.
Yeah, that's what
you appreciate it more.
Totally. That's what you have to commit to, though, because you'll wake up one day if you commit. If you go in and try something, you adopt a mindset of, well, if I actually just stick this out for long enough and I put in enough effort, it will happen. A lot of people don't believe, a lot of people genuinely can't do that. They don't believe it to be true. It's like if you genuinely put the effort in and you stick with it long enough, you will make it happen, But again, in some fucking bullshit scenario, you come up with some excuse and you use that, and it's like, oh, it's too hard. It's like, it's not too hard. It's like that's the other thing about excuses. Like instant gratification would also be, you have this resistance built up in your head to not go to the gym or not walk out the door, go for a walk or a run, because the instant gratification of staying on the couch and watching TV is more attractive to you than doing that thing. So if you could start thinking about that and going, okay, right, well, maybe I should stop going for the short term prize. Maybe I should stop looking for that. Maybe I should stop going, hey, well, that'd be nice in this moment. Why don't you discipline yourself, which is that's why discipline equals freedom. Discipline yourself now so you're free later on in your life. You're free for the
Yeah.
rest. You're a good example of that. A lot of the lads are good examples of that. We've spoken about Liam before. We've talked about yourself before. Alan, like any of the chefs who've really fucking stepped up their game and they stuck with it long enough. It's like the discipline equals freedom, because I see the difference in your lives, not just in a fitness, not just I lost weight, not just I have a bit more energy and I feel better about myself, but you stuck with it long enough that it became normal for you. And when it became normal for you, that started having a knock-on chain reaction in your family life, career, even just your own happiness in yourself.
Not just my family life, my family's life.
Yeah, big time.
Everyone in my house. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is in the same content, but I was so inspired by Kenny's video about 3 weeks ago before we went on holidays, where he put up a video, and the thing that really sparked me, like it really, really inspired me, like a video hadn't in a while, He said, I'm going away on holidays on Wednesday, so I'm gonna have to go in tomorrow, because no matter what, if I don't have the time, I have to figure out a way to get it done regardless, And because that's his mentality, and that's just him there sitting in the car musing, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, I got it done, because blah, blah. And then I know I'm going to have to get it done now, because no matter what, I have to get this done.
Yep.
And he's stuck it out. He's 10 months in it as well. And nobody's lost as much weight as he has. Nobody's turned anything around as much as King Kenny has.
Massive. Kenny is an absolute. You get anomalies and Kenny is one of those guys who's an anomaly. He's very similar to Liam in that way, where he's very unassuming. Like, you would not expect the fire that's there, and maybe they don't even know the fire that's there. And the fact that he's able to just head down, doesn't talk a big game at all. In fact, says very little, you know what I mean? Doesn't need to speak. His results speak for them fucking selves.
And he's so consistent.
Yeah, big time. Big time. So,
and when he said that, like, I have to get it done regardless. That's what was like, do you know what? Fucking hell, you're dead right, Kenny. Yeah. I'm up. You know what I mean? That's where that got me. That really, really got me going.
Totally. Because that's the mindset. People don't understand. People talk a lot of shit about mindset. You got a lot of fucking gay bags putting up inspirational quotes, but actually they're usually pathetic humans themselves with no backbone.
Hashtag living my best life.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, it's a joke. All these shitty quotes. That means fuck all. It means fuck all. Mindset is, how do you gear your thinking in a way that achieves the result? And if you have a mentality to do whatever the fuck it takes for as long as it takes, you will win. I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to fucking stop. I might have setbacks. I might have bad days. I might have bad weeks. I might have bad fucking months, but I'm never going to stop, and I'm never going to give in, and I'm going to fucking do whatever it takes. Whatever is within my power, I will do it. That is the difference. And you are not doing, the chef listening to this, chances are you are not doing whatever it takes. You're not doing whatever it takes. You're coming at it with a weak mentality. You're coming at it with this instant gratification mentality that I'll see what happens maybe, when you don't even realize that it's nothing to do with the thing that you are using. It's nothing to do with the program. It's nothing to do with the fucking diet. The only reason that Chef Fit works is because I've illuminated the fact that you need to drive it. I've created an environment, and the fact that you need to drive it, and I illuminate that, and I coach you to think like that. But that's the most important thing. You see, fucking programs are just they're just pieces of paper with fucking words on them. You know what I mean? Diets are just foods on a sheet, in a structure. But it's like, it's you that brings it to life. So what brings you to life is how you think, and you're not thinking correctly. So if you're not playing the fucking long game, chances are you're playing the short game. And if you're playing the short game, you're going to lose. You're going to go in circles. You're going to make excuses, and you're going to fucking give up before you should have. Whereas if you just had accepted the reality that this is what needs to happen. This is what it's going to take. And I'm going to do whatever it takes.
How important is goals?
Goals are massively important because that's another thing that determines your thinking.
Yeah.
Some people are...
Especially when it comes to the long game, you know, if you just have a figure of like a weight or a size or a time that you're chasing down, and then you hit that, you need to change that goal or get a new goal.
Yeah. I think those like people have external goals that don't fucking mean anything. You know, I want to lose 10 kilos. Why? Fucking no. Why 10 kilos? What does that actually signify? What does that mean to you? You know, what happens when you lose 10 kilos? Well, I suppose no, you don't suppose anything because you don't know and you haven't thought about it. You see, your weight is a byproduct. The weight is a symptom of a deeper issue. You understand? It's a symptom of a deeper issue. I want my energy back. The energy is that's an easy fix, and that's a symptom of a bigger issue. Like, your goal should be, I want to be fucking, as opposed to going, oh, I want to lose X amount of weight. That's great. And give yourself timelines on that. But it's what comes with the weight. You know, I think instead of going, I want to lose 10 kilos. Okay, cool. You can put 10 kilos down, but you also need to go, okay, right, if I'm going to lose 10 kilos, that means I'm going to have to train in the gym 3 times a week. That means I'm going to have to go out for a walk or a run, 3-4 times a week on top of that. It means I'm going to have to food prep this week. It means I'm going to have to fucking eat this amount of meals. It means I'm going to have to drink this amount of water. It means I'm going to have to stay away from my fucking boozing and my takeaways. Like, you need to start setting like short-term process goals for yourself. And you need to commit to that process over time, because you're at A, yeah, and B is your outcome. That's your goal. But your process is the thing that gets you from A to B. And you're so focused on, well, if I just try this diet, I'll lose 10 kilos. And you've completely forgotten about the thing that gets you to lose 10 kilos, which is your process, which is your day-to-day. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis to get yourself there? Chances are you're doing fuck all. Chances are you ate a couple of salads, you fucking went to the gym for 4 hours, then you woke up the next day, gave yourself a nice big fucking pat on the back for having a great day yesterday, and then you rewarded yourself with some shit. And then you go, oh, fuck, well, that doesn't work, when you fall off track. It's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You need to stop with the short-term thinking. You need to start thinking about, actually, this is another point. It's not necessarily what you're doing. It's who you need to become. And this is something I speak about with chefs all the time in the elite. This 10 kilo thing. It's like, why don't you actually draw what that person looks like? Like, why don't you actually draw yourself? I put myself down on a piece of paper here, right? And I draw a fucking stick man, and I put basically all the attributes. Like, 1 year from now, achieve that goal. Cool. What does that look like? 20 kilos. Well, what the fuck does 20 kilos look like? Well, it looks like, I don't know, a medium t-shirt. It looks like a 32-inch waist. Cool. And what comes with the territory of that? Well, I'll be really fit. I'll be able to go out and go for a run, go for a cycle, and actually enjoy it. I'll be able to go out and play football with my kids that are running out of breath for 5 minutes. I'll be able to go into the kitchen and be able to smash out a 12-hour day and not feel like I have to fucking escape with a load of shit, and I actually feel fine afterwards. I can wake up on my days off and I'm motivated and I'm energized enough to get up and clean the house, take the dogs for a walk, go to the shops, go to the bank, fucking come back, spend time with the kids and the family. Like, that's the things you need to be writing down. The 10 kilos is a byproduct of becoming that person. Once you identify who you need to become, then everything becomes very clear, because once you identify who you need to become, you realize what you're not. And you're not that person right now. And you don't have those habits, and you don't have those routines, and you don't have that belief in yourself. So why the fuck should you be able to lose it and keep it off? Genuinely. Real shit. Why should you? Of course not. You fucking, like, all you do is make excuses. All you do is fucking pass the buck on to someone else and blame it on them. All you do is fucking look for another quick fix. Like, look at yourself in the mirror for 5 seconds and actually ask yourself, like, with my current way of thinking, would I even be capable of doing that? Chances are you're not.
I think that's why I was the way I was, because I used to say to myself, right, I'm at this weight, I want to get to this weight.
Yeah.
And I would lose weight in a crash diet or a fad or fat burners one time, and then I got to it. I was like, hey, look, I did it. See, I told you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's it. You know, it wasn't a whole lifestyle change. It wasn't playing the long game. You know what I mean? I did get instant gratification from Chef Fit as well, because, you know, our whole lives did change
Big time.
as well, because we were part of something bigger. You know what I mean? And once I got my life in order and got habits in place, I lost a fucking shit ton of weight at the start, and which I had done before, but wasn't able to keep it up. I wasn't able to lose as much weight as I did with this, obviously, but I had lost weight before. They were for specific things at the time, and that's why it didn't work. That's why it didn't stay off. And when you were just talking there a minute ago, for a second, I felt like I was being given out to, because when you were saying that, I realized that that's what I was doing. And then I put myself back there for a minute. And then what you were saying just got louder and louder and louder. And it made me feel quite grateful for where I am now and how I am now, or where we all are.
Totally. Because all I've done is illuminate the problem. The problem a lot of the time is, and I'm not talking to you, Peter, but the problem is you. You know, the problem is us. That's what we don't see. We're the only thing standing in our way of getting to where we want to fucking go. If you can't commit to a fucking year of getting your shit together, that's your fault. Like, that's your fault. You know, it's just like, I'm the only person that stopped Chef Fit becoming a fucking worldwide phenomenon. That's my fault. I got in my own way. We all get in our own way. But if you don't think like that, you're never going to figure it out. That's why the principles are so important. That's why taking ownership is so important. That's why being disciplined is so important, because it's like having a law to life. If you fucking break the law, you get reprimanded. If you don't take ownership and you think it's all dependent on the diet that you're trying, you're going to get reprimanded. How do you get reprimanded? Well, you get fucking no results, and you're forever perpetually chasing your tail and doing fuck all, you know? Whereas if you abide by the law and you take ownership, you realize that, maybe I need to change the way I'm fucking thinking here. And if I change the way I think, I'll change the way I act. And if I change the way they act, then I'll achieve the result that I want. And the way you're thinking is you're thinking short term. So if I stop thinking short term and I start thinking long term, chances are I'll take action for longer and I'll achieve the result that I want and sustain it. Because when I do something for longer, it becomes second nature. It becomes easy.
New normal habits.
New normal habits. Yeah, 100%. The stuff that's not pretty. The stuff that's not pretty, the stuff that's not like, hey, lose this in fucking 2 weeks, but it's the fucking reality. Same thing with people getting rich. It's another thing I realized when I started my own business, and I've had to, like everything in my life, I kind of create, I'm a bit of a fucking weirdo in that way. But when I look at it, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with athletes. It's the same thing with fucking really successful entrepreneurs. It's the same thing with anyone that achieves things, right? You only see the outcome. Same thing with people like fucking McGregor and all these superstars, Tony Robbins. You only see the outcome. You only see the fact that McGregor's got fucking 100 million in his bank and he's driving around in a fucking Lamborghini. You know, must be nice. And it's like, you don't see the process that it took to get there. You don't see that lad's been dreaming about that for fucking since he was a kid. You don't see the fact that he was fucking, you know, spending like 4 to 5 hours on the mats, eating, and then going in to fucking do a fucking MMA training and then staying back to practice his striking. You know what I mean? You don't see the 8 to 12 hour days. You don't see that. And that's why we get so eluded when we see like a before and after picture and you go, fuck, he lost that much weight, shit, this thing might fucking work for me. When you realize that that's possible for every single person in the world. It's within the realms of possibility that we can all be millionaires. It's within the realms of possibility that we can all be fucking high-level fit people. You know what I mean? With fucking six-packs and really high levels of strength. But it's the way that you think about it, and it's the fucking process that you follow. And the problem is you'll look at the outcome and go, well, fuck, like, what's he doing? The fucking McGregor fast program. Jesus, am I going to be as fit as McGregor? Like, man, like, you don't understand me here. Same thing with all these, you know, fuck, it must be really nice living that fancy life, being able to eat out in all these amazing restaurants. It's like, actually, do you know what? Some of the most successful people I know are up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? And they read fucking, you know, they read 50 times more than the average person. You know, they invest thousands upon thousands on their own education. Like, it's the shit that you don't see behind the scenes. And when we're talking about your life, chef, when we're talking about how you're going to make your life change, you need to commit to the things that are going on behind the scenes. What do you do behind closed doors when no one's looking? And I'm not talking about touching kids here. I'm talking about fucking actually, what are you doing behind closed doors? Like, are you staying true to what you should be doing? Or are you just like, hey, I'll look great for the fucking camera, but actually when it comes time to double down, you're nowhere to be fucking found. We all know people who talk a big game but don't back it up. So the only way that you're going to start backing it up is that you realize that you have the power to change it. The only thing that's stopping you is you. And specifically, we're talking about how you think, which is short-term thinking, instant gratification, the red pill. And how you need to think is long-term, blue pill. Take ownership, commit to not fucking giving in or giving up, and make it happen for a long period of time. That's the key to making the life change, you know. And Peter can attest to that because that's what Peter's done, and he's someone.
Yeah. It sounds like a simple solution, but it was hard work, you know. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a bit of fucking hard work. For the dog.
You have to commit to that, though. You have to grit. You have to be able.
Yeah. You have to commit to it, yeah.
And keep fucking coming back. That's another thing. Persistence. Like, I talk about discipline, and persistence is huge. Persistence is just that, like guys like fucking like Nate Diaz. You know what I mean? Like, these people who just don't, the fighter, Nate Diaz is a UFC fighter. It's just the people who don't fucking go, they just keep coming back for more. You know, you can't stop them. They keep coming back and back and back. And it's like, fuck me. It's like, imagine you had that same dogged determination in your own life. Like, imagine how much you would achieve. Imagine how successful you'd be. You'd be fucking ungodly successful in whatever goal you want to achieve because you just keep coming back. But most people shy away from pain. And that's a big issue. You shy away from pain. So that's why instant gratification is nice, because you get the result without enduring any pain. When the reality is you must go through pain to grow, and you must grow to achieve a result. So if you're not willing to go through pain, you'll never grow. And if you never grow, you'll never get the result. So you just think you're going to get the result and it's like trying something and expecting to hit the lottery every time. It's like, what are the chances that you hit the lottery? What are the fucking statistics on that? Absolutely, like, it's very, very slim. You know, one person in the fucking country could win the lottery every couple of months, you know? So when you think about that as a statistic, you're taking that same lottery mentality of just fucking see what happens into your fucking nutrition, into your lifestyle, into anything that you try. So that needs to stop. That needs to stop. Blue pill, take it. Red pill, throw it in the bin. That's fucking it.
Chefs, listen to the podcast. If you're listening to this for a reason, you came here for a reason.
Totally.
They did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, people need to hear this.
I also think, I don't plug Elite on every fucking podcast, but I think this is probably one of those where that needs to be said. Like, I talk to a lot of chefs who will get a program off me, or they'll do like a free thing that I fucking put out, and they're like, oh, thanks, man, I've got what I need now. And then you'll see them in 2 or 3 weeks. How are you getting on with that? And they fucking falling straight back on square one. And it's because they're not playing the long game, but it's also because it's difficult to play the long game. So that's why Chef Fit is one of those things where you have this environment. Obviously, I'm there to coach you, but it's like you have an environment of lads like Peter and the other chefs that's fucking 50, 60 plus of guys who are in that same boat, who are pushing each other and driving each other. And that is the environment that you need to sustain the fucking actions required to achieve what you want. You know, that's what it takes. So
it's never going to happen overnight. And if it does, it's not going to last.
Yeah.
You have to work hard to get it. And because you've worked hard to get it, you're going to work even harder to hold on to it because you fucking earned it. Yeah. Totally. You know what I mean? So first you have to know that you need, then you have to want it.
Yep.
Then you need to figure out the how. That's when the hard work starts.
Fact.
And once you fucking pull the trigger and say, right, I'm gonna do it, and once you've taken that first step, you're halfway there. Because if you can agree with yourself that you're going to do this and that you know that it's going to be hard, then you're going to be driven by yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're not. It's not The quick fixes, they don't work before, so it's not going to change, and all of a sudden the quick fixes are going to work for you now. You could literally hand the program that you give me every week, you could hand that to this guy next door, and he could say, oh yeah, great, yeah, no problem, I'll do that. Oh, it's as easy as this, is it? You know, the diet plan. Oh, that's it. That's all I have to eat. Oh, that's grand. I can do that. That's no bother. Yeah. If you have that mentality, then that's where you're going to fall short. But if you look at something like that, or if you come into something like I did, where I came into Chef Fit and I go, right, this is what I'm going to have to do. And I look and go, right, this is going to be hard work. But because I had already committed to doing it, then it made that hard work enjoyable. So when I got it, I was like, I achieved. You know what I mean? And as well, I hadn't achieved it on my own. I achieved it with other people, and other people had achieved it with me. So I was going to work twice as hard then.
Big time. Big time. It's that consolidation of everything. It's like not just only putting brick after brick in the wall, but now you've cemented the wall in place so it stays there. Whereas a lot of bricks up and then like get to the foot, build it up to a certain point, and the bricks fall down again, you know, and there's no enjoyment in that. That's a fucking pain in the hole, and that's a frustration. And you build up a story around nothing works for me and this is bollocks. Whereas it actually can be very enjoyable when you've got a good environment and you've got coaching behind you. So again, if you're thinking about it, Chef at Elite, fucking get your shit together, like genuinely.
I think I can see through your skull with those sunbeams.
That's my scroll. I'm looking pretty ethereal here, haven't I?
Your porno tash is gone.
That's it, man.
Melted away by the sun, Cam.
This is actually, if I had never been in the service industry, this is what I probably would have looked like. Chefs, that is another episode. Thumbs up on YouTube. Give us a fucking subscribe as well if you're looking. Give us a good comment as well if you like this. And 5-star review on iTunes. Check us out on Podbean. Whatever platform you're listening to this on or watching it on, support it as best you can. You know what I mean?
Share it with the chef that needs to hear this episode.
Totally, yeah. This is another episode that like a chef does probably need to hear this. You see those quick fixers, especially big overweight chefs who fucking just try stupid shit. They need to hear this shit.
Yeah, if you need to share this. It's a very important one for sharing. Because there are people that need to hear this. People have to stumble upon this, and people have to be spoon-fed this. Yeah. There are two types of people, but there's people that you love that need to hear this.
Spoon-fed. Fact. That's a fact.
Spoon-fed facts.
Anyway, that's our episode for today. Stay safe, chaps.
Peace out.